Thank you, Gene. Welcome everyone and everybody. Wow, what a big crowd. Obviously, our speaker today is in demand because I can't tell you the number of calls I had that wanted to replace me and introduce you, and some that. So I'm honored to introduce our speaker today, and obviously the state of the city. Everybody's here again, a huge crowd, and the first of the year. Before I do introduce our speaker, he told me to keep it brief, and because he does have a long talk, and he'll try to get us out of here by 3 o'clock. But of all the great qualities of Mayor Bob Brown, his greatest obviously is his wife of 50 years, Tony, who was an educator here for many years, and my fourth grade teacher got me through that tough year of fourth grade. And thank you. I wouldn't be up here today without you. So good to see you, Tony. Yes. So he told me just to say, here's Bob, so here is Mayor Bob Brown.
You taught him well, Tony. Thank you. He follows instructions. I am pleased to be here, and I am touched with the crowd one more time. I thank you for taking time to do this. I've got a script, and I'm going to get off of it immediately. So, Lynn Haney, I sent you an email, and I don't think you got it, but congratulations on being recognized by the Concerned Black Men of Lufkin, and your acceptance speech was the neatest thing I've seen, and you gave credit to all those surrounding you. Coca-Cola is a great citizen here. Congratulations. The other thing is, I was going to talk about Jeffrey for about 20 minutes because Tony Brown did teach him, and she survived that and has lived with me for 50 years. So that's on her own, she's done well. And Tony, thank you for being here. The council, I believe we're all here. Is that correct? I'm going to start with Sarah Murray because last year I forgot her name. So I want a little bit of Sarah, Rocky, Robert, Victor, and Lynn. Hey, Mark. Our brand new one. Mark, thank you. All of you, thank y'all for being here and supporting the city of Lufkin. Thank the staff that put this together, especially Sarah. Kara. I never was good, was I? Kara Atwood has worked her heart out on this presentation, and so has the ID department under Sid Munlin and Randy Cadwell. So thank all of you for being here. We've got a great story to tell. We've got lots of things that happened in 2015 and some great things that are going to happen in 2016. And to get started with, I always like to brag on Holmes Food. And the reason I do is because as of December, they had 108 employees. They are the newest industry that has come to our town, and we are thrilled to death. This will someday, I really think, be their corporate headquarters. They still have facilities in Burton, Texas, but they're growing here. They like what they see here, and we're treating them well, and we're just pleased to death that they are here. Some of the capital improvement projects, and I've got to tell a funny story. It's funny to me, it may not be to you. But the Denman Avenue drainage project has been on the books for several years. And if you've been down Timberland Drive and look to your left, headed north, you'll see what they have done with their drainage, and a lot of school kids walk through there, and it looks fabulous. During all the flooding, Long Chapel CME Church was flooded. And they had a group of people that came and visited with City Hall to point out the fact of their demise and what was going on there. And there was one individual in that crowd that was, I'm talking, mad at Bob Brown. And I couldn't, and she kept saying all the things that we had done for Denman Avenue Baptist Church. she added those last two, but I never figured out what we had done. And later we went over there and worked and have tried and have hired engineers to look at it. And hopefully there will be some improvements in drainage at CME Methodist Church, Long Chapel. But it stunned me, and then finally Keith Wright, and Keith Wright was as good a hire as we've had in the last year. Keith figured it out. She had confused that $1 million that we had for the drainage of Denman Avenue and just added Baptist Church on it. So we have not helped that many churches with their drainage.
You'd do First Christian first, wouldn't you?
Yes, we would. And you did a good job. Way to stir up the crowd, preacher. If you haven't been to Jones Lake lately, walk out on this. A dear friend of mine went over there the other day and just walked around for a little while. It is one of the neatest fishing piers you've ever seen. And it's one of the capital improvement jobs that we have finished this year. And you owe yourself a trip out there. The tennis courts will be finished by Christmas. I have never in my life, the concrete is cured well, but we are moving in steps, and we're moving in giant steps now. But the lighting should be up soon, and it will be 2-class tennis courts at Chambers Park. The zoo commissary, which is where you feed the animals, that's the kitchen and the storage house for the feeding of all the animals at the zoo. They have needed one for many, many years, and they've been in very cramped quarters. And thanks to Keith Wright and his ingenuity, the Friends of the Zoo paid for that out of their funding, is my understanding. So it is a nice facility, and the animals are happy. And I hope you got to see, and thank the media for making a positive story out of what could have been a very tragic story with our baby jaguar. I think a 3-legged jaguar is going to bring all kind of people to Lufkin, Texas. It's the sweetest thing I've ever seen, and Dr. Mike Nance did a good job along with the other veterinarians, but it turned into a very positive story. I wanted to talk a few numbers with you. I just get blown away with what we do in Lufkin, and we mainly is police and fire, water, sewer, all the different departments that work, public works. But police, fire, EMS statistics responded to 41,423 calls last year. EMS responded to 8,857 calls. There were 4,000 fire calls. AmeriCare helped us out with 206. Public Works after-hour calls were 893 individuals that wanted something with water and sewer. But the total dispatch call for the city of Lufkin and 35,000 population was 55,400 calls. And if you divide that by 365, because that's how many dispatch works, it says a lot about the city of Lufkin and the employees. And having come out of a utility business, being able to still walk in and ask questions, being able to still walk in and pay your bill means something to me, and I hope it does to you. And I thank the management of the city of Lufkin for keeping these facilities open and keeping you informed, because my theory is if you can talk to a person instead of an 800 number, you're going to be a little happier than when you leave. So looking ahead, let's talk a little bit about economic development. what we're doing, what we have done. Need to talk about the new city master plan, the zoo master plan, and then the zoo expansion. There will be specifics that I talk about in the economic development side, but Scott Slusher, thank you. Thank you for believing in this city and believing in Lufkin and stepping out and helping us out. Mike Windsor did the same thing. They didn't capitalize waste management in my last article in the paper and made it look like it was waste management. Waste management is now a partner with Dolphin. Mike and Waste Management are joined at the hip, working together. Waste Management is looking for other ways of making revenue, and they have joined with brilliant Mike Windsor. And I really think you'll see some other things happen in the city of Lufkin and around Angelina County in the next year. Because two things: Waste Management got a lot of money. Second of all, Mike's got lots of techniques and things that they can utilize and expand their business rather than just be in the landfill. So I look for happy things going on there. The real positive, and I'm going to get a little deep in the bowels of this one also. Atkinson Candy's been here 80 plus years, let's say. They had an opportunity in the last 18 months to leave this place, go to another state and another city and start all over and be very happy doing that. Eric gave us a chance. And us is Economic Development 4B, Economic Development Partnership. All the banks in town thank Jack Gordon every time you see him. But Eric is staying in Lufkin with Atkinson Candy, building another 28,000 square feet on his building, has a new contract with a candy company that he's taking on as a new project, but will hire up to 32 people when it's all said and done, and it's under construction, I think, right now, because it's being built right behind his building, right where he is on Frank Street right now. But he believed in the city of Lufkin, and we are thrilled to death that he had confidence in us, and we wish him the best. I grew up at Angelina Village. That's how old I am. I didn't even know what it was when they came in. I didn't know it had ever been called. It was the old mall as far as I was concerned. I have bought stuff from Blackstock's, Clark's, all the different things that it used to be, but a new management company has purchased that piece of property and they own everything except the convenience store and the bank. And they are going to refurbish it, put it on the map and market it, and we think that great things can happen at Angelina Village Shopping Center. They plan on a $6 million investment, and with that we think that, again, the city of Lufkin lives on sales tax. That's what we have to have, that's what we need. Water and sewer are wonderful, and we've got plenty of water, and before I leave here, let everybody know that Lufkin has plenty of water, and anybody else that wants to come and use it, please tell them to come, because we're ready. The master plan for the city of Lufkin was done in 2004, is that right, Keith? 2001. So it's 14 years. It says right there on the deal that it was done. This city's tricky, let me tell you. But it's time for an upgrade. And when you do a master plan for a city, you get involved too. And we want you to be willing to help us plan the next 15 to 20 years for the city of Lufkin as we grow and move forward. Allows the city to consider the shape of the future, develops functional land use, transportation corridors, housing, public facilities, and urban design, vital to the future for growth. And that's what we're here to do. The zoo also has a master plan, and they've had one. But their current one was expired in 1996, I guess, or was done in 1996. But where the entrance is, where all the facilities are, they're growing, and they want new displays and they want new things, including dining facilities and things like that. So we're working on a master plan for the zoo. Their big goal is to have a home for the gorilla. That ends my speech. Now let me talk to you a minute. This is a great city, and I want each one of you to know that from top to bottom, we would do anything to make you comfortable in this town. I did a eulogy for a dear 87-year-old friend last week, and in that, I told the crowd he was my third worst critic. Half of Lufkin has called me to find out who number 1 and number 2 are. But that's how you get ideas. We need all the ideas to make this a better place. And let me tell you, 4B has expanded, has done a few, like the Angelina Village deal. Making an incentive package for retail was out of our scope. We had never done that before. We've done that now. There's some other things that we're stepping out and doing, because I don't want to get negative, but when the announcement came out in the paper that the foundry was closing, our second foundry was closing, everybody said Lufkin's going to die. Lufkin's not going to die. We got plenty of water and we got you. And what we need is for you to believe in it, like Scott Slusher, like Hall Henderson and Trey Henderson and all. And we've got the best state representative in the state of Texas. He has done more for us in Austin than anyone has ever done. And if Jim McReynolds was here, I'd say it then. We're just got very good representation. And what we need are your ideas, and we need for you to get behind those ideas. And let's keep our kids in Lufkin, Texas. There's opportunities for us to be here. There's opportunities for them as little fourth graders can come back and introduce old mayors. Thank y'all.